Are you noticing that grief is everywhere? The conversation about grief. I can't listen to a podcast or watch something for more than 5 minutes without hearing someone use the term grief, or that they're grieving something, or that loss of some kind is like a prevalent, dominant part of the conversation. Are you noticing that? Me too. And so I'm making this video because not only am I noticing the prevalence of grief in our world, the language of grief being used by more and more of us, but I'm also noticing something that's pissing me off about our relationship to grief. I want to talk about it, I want to name it, and I want to offer a do better, a know better, do better around our growing need for collective and individual grief tending skills. But real quick, if you haven't been here before, welcome to my channel. My name is Akilah Safiah. I am a professional grief tender. I work with the energies of grief in terms of what grief teaches us, the defenses that grief lowers, and the wisdom that can come with tremendous loss, or even a little loss. I talk about little d deaths and big D death. So the thing I'm noticing is that so much of our conversation around grief is conversational. Mostly when someone is grieving, what we demand of them in order to try to support or even fix it is talking. We want to hear about it. We have an expectation that people can articulate their grief. We also feel like we should be able to articulate our grief, and that it has a stage where the grief is thick and heavy, and then another stage where the grief is gone, or at least more manageable. That ain't true, that ain't real. That's more of the broken, corporate, westernized approach to grief that is about essentially capitalism. Like, you got to tuck it away so that you can be productive and do things. Or this way that we are so like anti-emotion, and we think about grief as an emotion instead of a birthright. And so we expect articulation around grief. We expect people to be able to name it, and then we got stages for it and whatnot, and that's just not how real grief works. So here is the thing that I'm noticing plain. We put too much pressure on ourselves and other people to be able to talk about our grief so that we can feel better, they can feel better, things can be better. That's not what grief is. It's not an emotion. It's not a transient thing. It's a birthright. It's a threshold. It is wisdom. It's how we savor loss. The problem of talking about it all the time has what I think is a simple solution. And that solution isn't magical and new. It's not some shit that we just discovered. It's just something we need to give more attention and value and even reverence to. And that is, you ready? Movement. That's it. Movement. In my own little corner of the universe over here, I am noticing that the people in my life, the ones that I talk to, the ones that live where I live, or the ones that I can touch via Zoom because we're in contact consistently, we, because I'm part of that circle, are using movement in the form of dance, in the form of song, because singing is movement, in the form of jumping, like parkour, in the form of swimming, diving, writing music, creating detailed playlists and working on things, like having them in our lives, not just on our devices. So many of us are using movement as a means to tend to our grief. So this is my way of contributing to what I am starting to see in this world of prevalent, dominant, constantly talked about grief. I want to contribute to a way that isn't just about talking, but also about moving with grief, not just trying to squash it and manage it, but also learning from it, looking into it, being curious about it. That's where I am, and that's where I'm inviting you to as well. So in this video, I wanted to name that, and I also want to leave you with evidence of how grief and joy, by the way, because they go together, how grief and joy are tended to with movement, and how they can support us as people with grief, and also how it can help us learn to support the people around us who are grieving. So I'm going to show you about 2 minutes of footage of dance that I was invited into in Soweto, South Africa, a couple of weeks ago with the Zulu people who were using dance as a way to keep culture, tend grief, embrace joy, and share in the middle of the thick of things that are happening in South Africa right now. This is rich, deep education that might be cleverly disguised as beautiful dance, but it's also grief tending. And I want you to watch the video, and I want you to think about your own experience with movement in relationship to grief. How might you already be using movement of some kind, whether it's just singing a song and moving your head, or going into choreography, or writing songs, or feeling like you want to be in the water more to swim, or getting on your bike, or going for long walks, or taking a hot shower. Like, these are simple things that are really ways to tend to grief. And I'm going to talk more about it over time in this series. I want to hear how this is moving in your world, how grief is moving in your world, and how joy might be connected to that for you. If you like the video, like it, subscribe to my channel so we can stay in touch about this grief tending groove.
Subscribe, like the videos if they resonate for you, and talk to me in the comments. Welcome to the Akilah verse. Out here we tend to endings.
Peace.